Recommended reading on scientific topics, starting strong with physics. Richard Feynman wrote some of the most celebrated physics books of all time. 6 Easy Pieces is a really good introduction to fundamental physics concepts. Depending on how deep you want to go, the Feynman lectures on physics are based on his legendary Caltech undergraduate courses, and they are basically a masterclass in understanding the conceptual core of physics. Some of his views are outdated, but the science is solid, and if you like his writing, I do suggest reading everything. Carlo Rovelli writes digestible overviews of modern concepts. Recommended reading 7 Brief Lessons on Physics. Sean Carroll is good at explaining deep theoretical concepts like space, time, and the origins of the universe. He wrote The Biggest Ideas in the Universe. Brian Greene is the go-to author for string theory, multiple dimensions, and cosmic structures. In The Elegant Universe, he explains relativity, quantum mechanics, and string theory. And if you want something more intense, then read Roger Penrose. He delves deeply into the philosophical and mathematical foundations of the universe. Read The Road to Reality, a complete guide to the laws of the universe. Moving on to evolution. On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. This is the seminal masterpiece. It introduced the theory of natural selection. It's a little bit dry, so you might enjoy reading it alongside commentary. For example, James Costa's annotated version. And of course, we have Richard Dawkins. He wrote The Selfish Gene, a very influential explanation of gene-centered evolution and where the term meme comes from. Dawkins also wrote The Blind Watchmaker, which explains how natural selection produces complex adaptations. If you aren't keen on some of these writers, and they do have their controversies, Adam Rutherford is a geneticist, and I'm not just being biased because I know him. I recommend A Brief History of Everyone Who Ever Lived. This examines the genetic history of our species. It traces modern humans back to Africa and explores human evolution alongside interactions with Neanderthals. And The Book of Humans, an exploration of human evolution, also asks what makes Homo sapiens unique from the rest of the animal kingdom. I'm sorry that a lot of these are men, that's not in my control. Moving on to astronomy and cosmology. Carl Sagan is one of my favourite all-time writers, and Cosmos is a classic still to this day. Brilliant overview of astronomy and humanity's place in the universe. Very easy to read, even poetic in places. Highly recommend it. Sagan also wrote Cosmic Connection, which is a visionary look at the universe that examines solar system science, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Of course, we have A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, introduces cosmology and modern physics. For easier and up-to-date reading, I recommend Universal, A Guide to the Cosmos. This is a very easy to read look at our understanding of the universe, how we came to know it, and the grand laws that govern it. A.T. Mack wrote The End of Everything, Astrophysically Speaking, an entertaining tour of the different ways the cosmos could end, and it translates complex concepts into quantum mechanics and cosmology into witty, easy to read prose. I know it sounds heavy, but it's not. For mathematics, you want Hannah Fry. She wrote Hello World, How to Be Human in the Age of the Machine, which explores the impact of algorithms on modern society, super relevant to our lives today. And Hannah co-wrote Rutherford and Fry's Complete Guide to Absolutely Everything with Adam Rutherford. It's fun, it answers strange and mind-boggling questions. Then we have The Mathematics of Love, Patterns, Proofs, and the Search for the Ultimate Equation. This is a look at the patterns behind human relationships. Hannah uses mathematical rules and game theory to explain dating and marriage, including the famous 37% rule, which is a mathematical approach to knowing when to settle down. And finally, if you like more general science reading covering multiple topics, then you have to read A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. Easy to read, witty, absolute page turner. If you're interested in a good defense of the scientific method, critical thinking, and skepticism against pseudoscience, read The Demon-Haunted World by Carl Sagan, and it's actually kind of shocking how relevant that book still is today. Finally, Factfulness by Hans Rosling. This book will change the way you see the world. Looks at public health, global development, cognitive psychology. It's data heavy, but very, very easy to read. It will help with developing critical thinking skills and questioning what you know about the world around you. I know you want me to cover other topics, but this video is already too long, so you're going to have to wait, I'm afraid. Hopefully, I've given you something to get started on for now. Keep reading, keep asking questions, and you'll never stop learning.